welcome back. It's your girl Aurelia. Today you are on The Real Show, and today we have a special guest called Kieran. He is a boxing life coach, and he has literally said today he will come and talk on the show. So let's welcome Kieran.
Thank you.
Hey Kieran.
Thank you for having me today.
No, thank you for coming. Literally,
pleasure.
Lovely to see you again. So today we just want to speak about who you are and your journey, just so other people can just get, some understanding of how it works in your journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, in terms of a bit about me, my name is Kieran Ekeldo, aka the Boxing Life Coach, and what I do is I essentially help business owners and leaders of industry become the strongest, fastest and lightest they've been in the past 10 years within the next 12 months. The way we do that is simple. The motto is train like a fighter, think like a champion, and live a life by design.
I love that. See them little gems there? And I just want to say, how did your journey actually start? Like, did it start from a certain age, or did you go through something where that it inspired you to get to,
absolutely, sure thing. So as it says on my top, inspire, motivate, and empower.
Got the
so,
logos.
so that's the logo.
It's always important to have that.
Have the brand merch ready.
I need to have the merch.
But with this, so the mission, when I was at university, I made a decision. I said, I want to create a positive environment where young adults can thrive. When it comes to the fitness background, I grew up around it. My mum used to be a trainer. My grandma, she still is one, qualified in her 50s. And so I've always been around that fitness and sporting environment. My dad used to be a champion weightlifter and representing England and stuff like that. So I came from a quite an active family.
Yeah.
But then whilst I was at university studying international business economics, learned to, thank you very much. But then I was a promoter, but I like to box. So boxing was my hobby. But then when I was working in this, just burning myself, burning the candle on both ends, partying, clubbing, trying to do my degree, not so well at the time, trying to start businesses at the same time. Literally was just abusing the body, so I had to take some time out. It was like for my mental health, so I had like a psychotic episode. Needed to take some time out just to kind of reset, to bring myself back in. And what helped me was reading. So reading really helped me go to like the British Library to read like Tony Robbins books, Jim Rohn, and then decided I need to have that change of identity. Being that nightlife clubbing person just wasn't the guy I wanted to be anymore. So I delved more into boxing. Started my boxing journey there, had a few fights, boxing matches that is, qualified as a boxing coach, fitness instructor, 2013,
Well done.
and then completed my degree in 2014. And you could almost say the rest is history.
Yes.
So that was kind of like the beginning phases.
Okay.
And then I started from there, she wrote my first book in 2015.
Okay.
Life After Sports for Professional Athletes. That's when I started helping trainers become trainers in the industry. 2022 Boxing Day, I released the 12 Boxing Principles of Success. Pun intended there. And that again was to help, really to kind of give homage again to my boxing journey, because like on that process, added on weight, need to lose it again. Boxing helped me lose only 2 stones. So I wanted to just show that boxing can help you with physical health, mental health, all together. And yeah, that was pretty much, and then 2021 was when I started my own company, so I did it for myself.
Brilliant.
So I've been going for just over 4 years now.
4 years now, look at that, excellent. And you would say then that you started it in uni. It wasn't really more so when you was a child. It was more so the inspiration came when you was at uni, and you had the inspiration around you, but you started more so at uni, you'd say.
I would say, if you're asking when did I become a coach professionally, so when on paper did my coaching journey begin, then I would say university.
But however,
if you were to say when did my coaching and fitness start, when did my entrepreneurial endeavor start, like I've been selling pictures of Pokemon cards from the age of 4 or 5 years old.
Okay, that's the question I want to get out of you.
I've been
so you've always
from a very young age.
So from young you literally had that inside of you.
I could do 5 pull-ups by the time I was 5 years old. I could do 50 push-ups.
Alright, show off. No.
We call it showing up, I call it showing up.
Showing up for yourself.
That's
No, that's so brilliant. That's so brilliant. And when you say like on this journey, what kind of people did you meet, I guess, at university, and what kind of trials and tribulations did you go through? If you could just elaborate on that, whilst trying to, you're trying to fit everything in, like your studying, your boxing, your hobbies, your business. If you could just kind of.
So university, what? Ask the question.
Sorry, the trials and tribulations that may have come across when you're studying at university, whilst trying to, be an entrepreneur, as well as doing your skills and, building your bit. Like how the trials and tribulations that may have occurred, how did you get through them? Because it must have been hard trying to study as well as
starting business and working. So the biggest trial and tribulation, the biggest trial or challenge I would say I faced during that season would be the element of focus.
Okay.
Because I'm going to quote unquote, first things first, okay, the degree. When I say that's in theory, it should be first these days. The degree was top thing there. But then at the same time, you're now independent, so you want to make money. So just like finances, working, being able to earn money.
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's the element of business. So obviously, the reason why I separate business from working is initially when you're starting business, you're investing in it. It's not giving you a return. It's more for the passion of what you want to do. But the working was more, you've got bills to pay.
Let's get this.
You've got to get money to do something there. So I had those three elements there. And then on top of that, we also had the just being a student in terms of like going out, having that social life, meeting people. So balancing the time, choosing what to focus on. That was probably the biggest challenge I faced. But with that, it was in I always call it like time blocking. Okay. So I would time block for certain things, X, Y, Z. So it's in like training is covered this time, work this time, study this time, or at least I like to have a structure that I can fall off from. Of course. To be like, okay, this is everything was going right. Yeah. But you got 60% of that. Yeah. Cool. Versus being like, which is the right way to go today? And then you're just waiting to see which way the wind blows. I try not to go and be blown with the wind.
You try to manage
more
what you can,
having that system, and then from there, can I have the discipline to get as close to this as possible? Of course. Even if it doesn't come to fruition, as close as I can.
Then you do make that happen. No, that's so interesting. And what would you say in terms of like your day in a life, in terms of uni? Did you have to like go into class? Was it like 2-3 days? If you can remember that.
If you can remember.
It's just like it might have been
No, so day in the life.
Because for someone watching this, I'm trying to get them to understand, how did you, as much as you manage it by organising it and writing it down, did you go into uni 2 days where you had to actually be with the lecturer, or did you, and then when you was working, was it just the weekends or the evenings?
So what it would look like, I'll give like I'll give a day in the life, and then I'll give the week breakdown, because Monday to Sunday are all different days. Yep. So I couldn't just say X, Y, and Z. But let's say a good day, simple day would be Mondays. Typically, you'd start your day with like a run. So I do about 3 to 5 miles just to get in your cardio in, the road work. Start there, you come home, you shower, get changed, then probably get ready for lectures for about 9-10 o'clock. You go in for your lectures. Probably have some breaks in between, but I live not too far from uni, so I had a bike as well, so I could just cycle home. Nice. And then even though I had a car, but you couldn't drive onto campus, so you just cycle there, fine, back 10 minutes in and out. So we do that. What else would?
So was uni like how many days was it?
So uni was 5 days a week.
Oh, it was 5 days.
Not 4 days, but 5 days.
Okay, and then working 9 to 5?
It wasn't 9 to 5.
Okay.
Because I was a promoter, so my work was more selling
based around
tickets.
it.
So let's say, for instance, Monday then evening. So I'd finish, let's say 4 o'clock lectures finished. Okay. But now 4 till 7, I'm now promoted, so now I'm selling the tickets. Okay. So I'm going around to the campus doing that. Nice. Then now, I've sold my tickets. 8 o'clock I'm done. Now I'm getting ready for the night time. Yeah. So now 9-10 party, get ready to begin. Okay. So now I'm out 10-11 out till 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then we're home.
It's a full day, but you made it happen.
So that was probably a day in the life. So it's like morning you do your training, daytime you do your studying, evening you do a bit of working, night time you then do your partying and your socialising.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then like
back to it
the next day. But
Yeah.
and then probably Tuesday you have a bit more of a rest.
Okay.
Till morning start.
Because of that.
Start late
Monday.
night.
Yeah.
And then do you know what I mean? Sometimes shout out to Domino's. Domino's Pizza used to get a few orders back in the day. 2 for Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then let's say overall, like I had at the time 2 jobs. So I was a promoter.
Nice.
And then also I worked in a bar.
Okay.
So that was actually 2 bars, actually 3 jobs. But
3 jobs, wow.
so that was the work I was doing. But then also I was trying to start a business. So it's like part time. But then when I'd say I took that step back, the promoting got dropped.
Okay.
And then now I was just working in a bar in like sociable hours. So I'd be done by like midnight.
Okay.
And I was working as the coach, boxing coach, and that was, usually 6 to 8. That was actually paid work at the time. It was more volunteering because at university they don't have the money for it, but it gave me the experience that
and
I
that's
needed
such a gem for
later
people
on.
to like watch. Like understand that what you're around, you want to gain more experience in your customer service because you don't know those transferable skills where it can lead you in your next, your next destination.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
other than your like family, who else inspired you? If there's any names out there in the industry that may have inspired you in your journey,
Yeah, sure. So inspired me. So there's something called I'm not sure if you ever heard Goat Mountain before.
that sounds familiar.
So
Goat
Goat Mountain. So what it stands for? So Kobe Bryant, he talks about this. So he's like what he used to do when he used to prepare it. So Kobe's a name to shout out because I'm really quoting him. So he's a name up there. But essentially, what he would do is he would look and he would say, when he was playing like basketball, he would have like something called his Goat Mountain. So these would be like the goats of his industry, of greatest of all times, what it stands for, of people that he would look towards and then be like, wow, do you know what? They inspire me. How can I become like them? Or what he would do is he would go into Goat Mountain and have an imaginary conversation with them. So imagine like you can now be sitting with Michael Jordan or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all these great basketball players who came before him to have a chop up and be like, oh, do you know what? This is what my challenge is like, and just playing that through. So I have something similar. I have my Goat Mountain. Now, on my Goat Mountain, what I do is mine's not just specifically to coaching or to boxing or anything. What I do is, as you may have, I speak about in my book, A Year by Designers, I'm very specific about understanding the different roles we play in our life. So as much as, let's say for instance, I'm as much as me being a coach, I'm also a family man in life. So I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm also a man of God. Like my faith is important to me. So there's different roles that I play a part in terms of my life and what I focus on each year and each day. So what I look at is each role, I'm like, okay, who are the goats from those spaces? And then I see which names am I seeing more than once? And if they're now the ultimate goats for me because they've got that balance of different elements. They're great family people, but they're also maybe good entrepreneurs and good men of God. And so I try and create that.
Is there any 1 or 2 names that you can say
absolutely.
if you can think?
Yeah,
if you can't,
sure.
it's fine.
No, I've got them. So again, I'm a bit of a
someone might want to listen to you know what I mean? Or let me search that person. That was a gem that Kieran said today.
I'd say first name that comes to mind is Tony Robbins.
Okay.
So Tony Robbins, he'd be he's up there on my mind just because like when I even started off, I see people saying, I'm like, I wanted to be Tony Robbins if he was a PT. That was the kind of the vibe because it's the mindset side, but his high energy, his transformation, changing people, taking people from hero to zero, or taking people from zero to hero, not hero to zero. But that can happen. You can go from hero to zero, but you got to be ready to get that bounce back up. So Tony Robbins, number one, he's up there. Eric Thomas.
Okay, yes, of course, yeah.
Eric Thomas was also on that list for me, just because, again, insane, great at what he does. Another person who's made that list for me, which often it's controversial, Kanye West.
Okay,
so
I understand.
Because again, he plays so many of these roles at a high level, and also manager's time. He's a man of God. We've all got things to work on, so I'm not happy to say that. But he's a great entrepreneur, great at his artistry and his creative side.
Style,
but he's all played this role as a family man as well. So lots of things to look towards. And I like the fact that some people call him crazy and he really doesn't care. Because he just owns his genius. Because that's who he is.
Yeah.
So those are three. So Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, Kanye West. Probably, again, Alex Hormozy, I kind of mentioned a bit earlier.
Yeah, of course.
Him in terms of more of an entrepreneur side, I don't see him as much as the man of God side.
But at the same time,
but
there's
again,
some
the
element
entrepreneur,
where
there's
it
elements
inspires
of his
you.
that inspire me. And then the last one.
Oh, we got like 5.
Yeah, I'll try and get a 5 out there. The 5th one, so this one is probably less known.
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, of course.
So
Yeah.
again,
Okay,
from like
He's
great actor.
Yeah, of
well,
course.
no, let me rephrase that.
He's
Great bodybuilder first,
bodybuilder,
then to great actor, to then a governor. But also, from what I understand, he plays an active role in his family's life. He speaks up for his beliefs and his core values. So yeah, those are 5 goats in my.
Okay.
Yeah,
so guys, listen to those and take some notes from that. No, definitely. And I would say, where would you, so if people wanted to find out about who you are now and what you do and what services you provide, I'm with you now sitting down. Who are you? We know who you are, what inspired you in your trials and tribulations, but who are you now? What value do you add to people, and how do how can people find out about you more, and do you know what I mean? What are your services?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So who am I? I'll give you a little freestyle of this.
Like a little freestyle.
There we go. and then I'll tell you who I am. So my name is Kieran, the boxing life coach, motivating people with a new approach. Understanding boxing really has the keys to a better body and a mentality that wants to work hard and strive for success. Focus on your goals, no place for second best. In the squared circle, if you want to see a win, it will take a leap of faith and a lot of discipline. It's not a nice game. People get hurt. Every punch is thrown, you cannot avert. But let me tell you now that the good outweighs the bad, because I'm smiling for an hour every minute that I'm sad.
Wow.
So
I'm gonna give you a round of applause. There's people in the background, but they can't hear us. Yeah.
So what I do essentially is I help
Is that a
businesses.
freestyle, sorry?
No, it's written.
I was like, let me call someone. Let me make some calls to get you in the studio. Okay, cool.
So that's just a flavour.
Yeah, I was thinking,
streaming on all platforms. What we've got is helping business owners and leaders of industry become the strongest, fastest and lightest they've been in the past 10 years within the next 12 months.
Okay.
So what we do is essentially physical and mental transformations. And again, we do that through the sports of boxing and mindset mastery. And in terms of the main thing, people come to me when they want to turn their goals to reality. Doesn't necessarily just have to be fitness based, but fitness is where the work begins. Because if you're not willing to show up for yourself physically, then all the rest is just excuses that you're making. And let me give you an example. Like I help, like a lot of my clients come forward. They come to me because they want to be in shape, but they also want to build deeper relationships with their children. Their children now get into that school leaver age, uni age. They realize that they're not going to be around as much, but they want to keep a positive relationship with them. So they come to me because, like, I'm easygoing. They want to become fit and strong, to have something to continue to build rapport with their kids with. So like they can train together. So they'll come, let's say, train together as a family with me, them and their children. But then also they'll go and do things together. So like one of my clients has literally just run a half marathon for the first time at the age of 50. And with her 2 daughters.
Oh, that is beautiful. Now, I love hearing stories like this.
Before training with me, 2 years prior to that, she had never ran 5K before in her life.
You see what I mean?
So
that transformation in itself.
100%. So that physical, mental transformation. But it's also now building rapport and then building relationships with her children.
Of course.
And our other client is, recently did a walk in, did the Machu Picchu Inca Trail, where it's like going up 4,000 meters in Peru. One of the most one of those hidden gems. Now he did this with a client of his. enjoyed it. He was the first one to arrive out at 17. So
he must have been well proud.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's through the training for you.
Through the training for me.
Okay.
But also this has a business angle to it.
Okay.
Because essentially he went with a client, so they're also
course.
doing work
Yeah,
at the same
part.
time. So my thing is, transforming people's their life through their physical training.
Yep.
But it's because to appreciate that, make time for your wellness now, or be forced to make time for your illness tomorrow.
Oh.
So you choose.
Can you just say that one more time?
So make time for your wellness today, or be forced to make time for your illness tomorrow. So, and that's the difference between we and I.
Yeah.
When it's we, wellness together.
Yeah.
When it's just I, it's illness.
Yeah.
So,
and just, do you know what? Just saying on that, you know how London is, and not to put this down, this conversation, nothing like that. Very fast paced. A lot is going on, you know, whether it be in our day-to-day lives, social media, family. We're all trying to like get through the process. But without our health, that's when we actually start to realize without the health, you can't do anything.
100%.
So it's like, that's when people will start to, you know, stop and actually take a minute and actually reflect and say, do you know what, I could be doing da-da-da-da-da-da, but without your health, which is a key thing, you won't be able to do anything. So the fact that you take the time out to inspire other people through, you know, the journey of your own inspirations and to transform their lives is just so... Yeah, for me it's just, I'm even thinking like I want to do something with my mum now. You've made me think about it, like I need to do more. And just to kind of like wrap it up, what's next for you? What's next for you? Do you know what I mean? Like how can we find
what's
you
next?
and everything? Yeah.
So best place to find me is on either Instagram or YouTube.
Okay.
Again, I'm the Boxing Life Coach.
Yep.
Just check me out, or again type in any of my name.
Yep.
So it's Kieran Ekeldo, Kieran Ekeldo. Now, with that, what's next? So for me,
you can just keep it. You can just give it a little. You don't have to give it a little flavor. Yeah.
So essentially, there's I've got a community called Key Results Club, and so that's a community where we fight for success. You know, old, young, big, small. And the key thing here is we're all trying to train to get stronger, faster, and lighter.
Yep.
Everybody's got their own battles.
Yeah.
So sometimes with the battle, when I say lighter, it's not always on the scale saying lighter there.
Yep.
But it could also be, are there certain burdens you need to take off your shoulders? Is there weight that you're carrying from past trauma or stress that's still carrying you down today? I can't do this because this happened X, Y, and Z. Then it means you've got weight to shed. It's more than just the physical, but also the mental side. We offer group coaching, so we do online services with our get started or get involved package, where you can kind of get involved with us online, be a part of the support community. We also do like weekend like workshops where you can come in, train with you on your own or with a friend, a partner, a family member, and where you get fit. We go through the boxing training, the boxing mindset to really help you to face the battles you have in life.
Of course,
it's not about being a fighter, it's just about fighting for what's right.
Yeah. And where are you based? Are you based in just South, or are you
So
based
I'm
out,
a
or
global
do you
perspective.
freelance?
Well, my books are in all 10, are in all continents. So essentially, if you're in Europe, if you're in Asia, if you're in Africa, you can order a copy of my book. But also, if you're in Europe and you're in Asia and you're in any of these places and you require my services, we do workshops, we do seminars. So I have done workshops in Ghana before. We've done stuff in Spain. I'm again. I'm currently exploring more opportunities in Ghana.
Nice.
I want to do more stuff in Nigeria. I want to do more work in Spain. I'm waiting for the call from the Saudis. So it's more of, if you've got the budget, you've got the flights. So it's in like, do you know what I mean? The only limitation, the biggest nation is the imagination.
Of course.
So I don't limit it to geography.
That's actually interesting. I didn't actually know that you did that as well. So I've just learned something now in this interview. I didn't know that you was international, and then you do take on clients from abroad if they was to.
Because we have also online and hybrid services where we offer like virtual coaching. So from there, that's more of an online service, or whereby what people do is they may do like coaching calls with me, but then they come in like once every month or every 2 months to the workshops and come and meet me in person in London. That typically we do in London, but we have plans next year to explore, to do a few international trips as well.
I better be coming to one of
Yeah,
them.
that's it. You know what I mean? Let's
Catch
stay
the
on the
flights. I
newsletter. There we
definitely
go.
want to. Yeah, I definitely
That's
want to go to like Ghana or something and dance with the kids. I think that's one of my things. So when you said Ghana, my whole spirit just went, oh yeah. I want to say so because it's called The Real Show. Sometimes I might just come out with a random question. Hopefully it doesn't make anyone feel uncomfortable or anything like that. When you first met me, just random, what was your thoughts? That is
okay. First thoughts. So when I first met you, it was just before the DJ AG event. I was running slightly late, but he was on stage yet, so he was running later.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
So what happened? So I sat down.
Yeah, that was it.
You were to my right.
Yeah,
I was on the
with
I
my
like an aisle
friend.
seat.
Yeah.
So I was right on the edge. You were sitting there to my right with your friend to your right,
That's
and then I
right,
think maybe it was even one person you knew in front or we were speaking
and it was
to.
such
So there,
it's probably hard to even have a first thought. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a hard question.
No, but you can ask us.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just replaying the scenario. Like first thoughts. Again, to put simply, I'm saying you were friendly, as in it was it was like. Initially, it was like, oh, cool, lovely, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I like to be friendly and respectful to anyone I kind of I try to match
same,
energy.
of course,
So
of course.
initially, I'm not, hey, just smile.
Yeah.
But then obviously, if someone's like gives an article, I'm like, cool, leave it there. But then you're like, hey, so I'm like, oh, tell me more.
What do you do?
So then we start to network a bit more, and then told me about the dancing side. So I think that piqued my interest. Obviously, the active side of life, that was good. And then I think when I shared or mentioned I wrote books, and then your interest even peaked higher, then I was like, okay, now we're onto something here. So then I think that's when we exchanged social media and stuff. And then there was also, what was the other element? And then again, you then had to go, because you had to walk away, I think because you're, again, not saying you had to speak to, I remember I think.
Probably had to do other things.
There was somebody, I think it was an important call you had to grab.
Yeah.
You grabbed the call for about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you came back afterwards.
Look at that.
And then, and I remember then your friend who was next to you to your right was like, remember you're here with me, right? You know, like, what are you doing? Like, just chatting to me. Remember,
don't bust me up.
So, so I remember that as well.
Yeah.
You were likeable, friendly energy with, but also had business to take care of. So that was my impression. Someone who's like just open to learning, to grow, and like quite approachable, but also switched on and pragmatic.
No, it's just interesting because sometimes you just never know what people think, and I just feel like let me just ask you, because you could have said, oh, I sat next to you and I wasn't very, do you know what I mean? But I was actually the opposite. It's nice to just kind of hear that. And for today, just to end off, do you have anything that you want to ask me at all? I know you might have not thought about anything, but
okay. Well, so what I'd like to ask is, if you were to say, it's a two-part question. If you were to say so let's say myself, if I was to talk about my roles for this year, roles, let's say some of my top roles is like family man, boss, business owner, boxing life coach, man of God. See, I've got about 8 altogether, which you can read about in my book.
Okay,
what would be perhaps 5 to 10 roles that you play in your life that are important to you? And then also for 2026, what would be a goal for the Reels podcast to achieve to make it a year by design?
Ooh,
That's the two-part question
okay,
there.
cool. So the first question, so going back to the 5 roles that play a big part in my journey in my life, I would definitely say God first. So that's where as well we're very in line with that. I feel like where I am in my journey, trials and tribulations, also all the positive things that have happened, my strength has been, my go-to has been Him. Whether that be going to church, not always, but still having to pray on a daily basis, or giving myself some sort of wisdom by reading some sort of biblical verses or whatever I need to to do to enhance that. I would say family as well. I am a mother, and I love my daughter to the max. And I think that just goes to it just shows within my everyday journey. I feel like when you have when you're brought up and you're around so much love. I've been brought up with a lot of love, so that's what I know to give to others. So I'll say family lady. Entrepreneur. I am very much a workaholic. I'm like, yeah, and I'm also like, because I'm like, it's very good to be workaholic, but sometimes I need to learn the balance of, you know, like we said earlier, the balance of kind of just chilling out and relaxing. So yeah, I'll just say God, my daughter, entrepreneur, two more big roles in my life. I would say definitely the physical as well, because right now I do have to be careful because I haven't really spoken about this, but I've got an injury. So it's like with the dancing and stuff, I don't do it all the time, but I do what I can. And I've started picking up walking lately. So I think I said to you briefly, I did a 10k walk, and it was just so beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Because it was just walking, you know, finding out new places. Sometimes when you're in your car or you're on the bus, you don't see things, but then when you're actually walking, you're like, I didn't know that shop was there. I didn't know that was there. So yeah, the physical. And I think the last thing I would say is making an impact on people's lives. I think, you know, life is short, and you know, we're only here for a certain amount of time, not to be too deep, but I think me impacting people's lives, I just want to know that I can not necessarily save people, but I want to enhance their life where their mindset is a bit different, where they think, okay, do you know what, that things are possible. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to have the most money, I don't have to have all the qualifications, but I am me, and if I'm bettering myself every day, in learning new habits and learning new, you know, responsibilities to take on myself, then I'll say I want to do more, maybe impacting in the community, whether that be getting live talks on stage. So I've done some stuff in secondary schools, and corporate companies, you know, corporate companies as well, they've booked me to do some talks. So I hope that covers the 5.
100%.
The 5. The second part question was
so for the real podcast,
how
what one goal, or what could you achieve in 2026, or between now and the end of 2026, to make it a year by design?
Okay, so I would say for 2026 on the Real Show podcast, I think as I'm doing now, pacing myself, because I think sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to interview this person, and but I want to make sure I can keep it as a monthly, so at least visit someone on a monthly basis, because we know we've got a life. And I think I want to channel deeper into who you are, other than this is everything brilliant. This is your journey, right? But what made you become this person? So it's just that I want to get to a surface level deeper. I'm a person that I don't like small talk. I get a bit bored. Like, you know, when people text you, hi, how are you? Yeah, you? And not in a rude way, because if you do that and you're checking in, lovely, bless you. But I need to get deeper into the connection of who made you that person. So for the podcast, really channeling into people's professional sides, and you know, who they are as a child, whether that be your trauma and also your successes, but I also want to see your funny sides. Who's your character? Why does that make you quirk? Why does that make you laugh? And why does that make you miserable? And why does that trigger you? Why does that make you angry? So I think for the podcast is tapping into both people's, you know, intellect, but also their humanity. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you tick that off with making sure that you do a monthly podcast between now and the next year, so essentially 12 episodes.
Hold me to it.
Yeah, I like it. I love it.
Yeah, but
that was amazing.
Thank you so much for coming on today, and I can't see more of your stuff. And guys, don't forget to follow. What's your socials again?
So it's the Boxing Life Coach on Instagram, on YouTube, again on Facebook. Just type my name in, Kieran Ekeldo. You'll find me there. And then, is it okay to leave with one last freestyle?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Shine.
So here we go.
Shine.
So actually, do you know what? I'd like to read a piece actually, which I wrote for Black History Month. Even though I know it's gone now, but
okay.
again, every month is Black History.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I'm making a black future. So, with this one, this is the theme for this year was pride and power.
Yeah.
So,
what is your background actually? Does it? Can we say that, or you don't mind?
So my background, so I'm obviously British. I say I'm from Pangaea when the world was one.
Yeah.
But as in my ethnic background is half Nigerian and Jamaican and Guyanese.
Okay. Lovely.
And if we want to go even further on the Jamaican side, I'm 116 Chinese.
Oh,
which many people don't know. This is an exclusive.
Asian persuasion.
This is an exclusive we got on your channel. Yeah. I've never said that before out here.
Right, let's listen.
So I call this one the superhero within.
Cool. Okay.
Learn your roots, lace up your mind. History's the gym where strength's refined. Kings and queens in every name. Legacy's light still fuels our flame. Read your story, feel your might. Education is your first fight. They threw their hate, we stayed on feet. Bruised but burning, we don't retreat. Every scar's a map, every round a test. Oppression hit hard, we still gave our best. The ropes may bend, but the spirit stands. Power's not begged, it's built by our hands. We jabbed with courage, ducked with grace. Justice swung wild, we held our place. Freedom danced in rhythm and rhyme, turning pain to power, struggle to climb. From chains to change, we broke the wall. A fighter's faith can't ever fall. Now lift your gloves with heart and soul. Forgive the past, but keep the goal. Peace is power, not retreat. Grace and grit make victory sweet. Stand proud, your bloodline's gold. The champion within can't be controlled. Pride is your stance, power is your swing. Step into life like it's your ring.
Jeez.
Train in body, spirit and mind. Your presence will be felt by deaf, mute or blind. So don't give up and don't give in. You're born to shine, you're born to win.
Oh, thank you, Kieran. When did you write that?
So I wrote that last week, Monday, for a talk on Tuesday.
Wow.
So,
And is that something you do regularly?
I do it when necessary.
When
So when
necessary,
when I feel it in my spirit
Then
to
you
create
just
something,
write.
then I just write. I put something together to inspire, motivate, and empower.
I think I need to book you for like a writing session with young people because that is, no, thank you so much for that. So guys, you've got the social medias and you guys will see us soon. For now, like, subscribe, repost, share, and I'll see you soon. Bye!